Sometimes self-care looks like burning down the bridges to all the places that no longer serve you. Shout out to Words or Vibrations, because that's a fact. And collective, I feel like you are someone who's grown very brave, okay? Like, you don't, you're not afraid to let people go, and before in the past, you may have been someone who struggled with that, right? You struggled with closure and you also struggled with letting people go. And because you dealt with a lot of addicting personalities, that would just cling on to your energy. And so because you had this big heart and you really were still trying to figure yourself out, you allowed these people to keep latching on and draining you. Even after they disrespected you, you still allowed them to come in. You know what I'm saying? You still forgave them. But somewhere along the line, somewhere in your awakening, collective, you had reached a realization that, wait a minute, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. This is not gonna work. Like, you were surrounded by a bunch of people who were leeching off of your energy. They were parasites, you know what I'm saying? And you allowed them to continue to just keep crossing over the bridge, come take whatever they want and go back over across the bridge again, right? You kept these connections open, knowing they were only beneficial for them. They were coming across your bridge to come take from you and then leave and going back over. And they weren't, when they came back again, they didn't have nothing in their hand to replace what they took, right? So over time, you're feeling the loss of this relationship. It's not mutually beneficial. You know what I'm saying? So you feel the heaviness and you feel the weight of you always trying to keep this relationship upkeep it, right? But you realize, hey, once you start paying attention to your energy and once you started to heal yourself, collective, you realize you do not want people who are going to just keep pouring more toxic mess into your life, because you're cleaning your life up. So you don't want to keep adding more toxicity after you just cleaned it up. You know what I'm saying? That would just be like you mopping the floor and then somebody comes and pours Kool-Aid all over it. And then, like, come on, no, I just mopped the floor. I don't, like, come on now. So you've learned, listen, I'm not going to keep this relationship open if it's keeping me drained. So now you embrace burning bridges. You embrace starting new chapters. Because you understand the process of renewal, life and death. Things get old. People get old. Relationships get stale. And it's time to release and let them go. You know what I'm saying? And if someone betrays you nowadays, collective, I'm hearing like your cutoff game is lethal. You will burn a bridge down faster than a fat man can get to the McDonald's for a free burger. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no problem burning a bridge down. And it does not matter who the person is. It don't matter who they think they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the type of person, it doesn't matter what somebody's certification says. It doesn't matter what their accolades are. It does not matter what their profession is. It don't matter what letters they got coming after their name, babes. If it's not beneficial to you and if it's causing you more harm than good, you're going to burn that bridge down. And you're going to be sitting right there watching it burn while you got some snacks in your hand, having a good time. So you enjoy burning bridges down if they're not going to serve you, collective. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, because in this day and age, society will have you fooled thinking, oh, you need to be careful what bridges you burn down. You know, that whole hierarchy of, oh, I'm the boss and whatever I say goes. You know, like that mentality, that bully, bossy mentality. You don't play into that. You don't play into that social hierarchy. You treat everyone with the same respect. You know what I'm saying? And if they cannot treat you with that same respect, if they cannot appreciate you, you burn that bridge down and you have no problem doing it. Who am I talking to, collective? Because you're somebody who is very independent and you know how to rely on yourself and rely on your resources. You're very resourceful. You know what I'm saying? And now you've so I wouldn't necessarily say that you burn a lot of bridges nowadays, collective, because you wisened up. So instead of burning a bridge down, let's say you might have just put up you just put them on detour. You know what I'm saying? So it's you're not really, the bridge is still there, but you're not fully utilizing it, if that makes sense. So this could be, let's say, if in a work setting, you can't completely cut off certain people, like your boss or your coworkers or people that you have to contact and communicate with. So what you do is you put up healthy, thick boundaries, right? So sometimes you don't even burn bridges. You put up those you put up those road blockages, right? So you'll put cinder blocks or bricks to block the bridge from any traffic coming through, but you can still see over the bridge. You can still shout. You could still holler and communicate. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the metaphoric example. So how that would be is, you're just indulging in conversation. If it's not about work, then you're not having a conversation with them, right? You're just keeping it very dry and surface level. That's something you learned how to do as well if you can't burn that bridge. But you've developed this emotional intelligence over time, collective, to where, self-care, self-care is your number one priority. And if you're not good and feeling well, then how could you go out in the world and do good? So you really prioritize your self-care. And you always take inventory of the people in your lives now, right? Who am I talking to, collective? Because you doing it, and you doing it in all the good ways, and you're doing it for yourself. But not only are you doing it for yourself, when you do it for yourself, you do it for the greater whole as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because you're showing people that it can be done. So let me know if this is you down below in the comments, collective. I would love to hear it. Love to hear from you, all right? And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button because I want you a part of my tribe, all right? Thank y'all for always supporting me and continuing to just comment, and just share. Y'all are loyal, and I love loyalty, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. It's Car. I'm signing out. Bye.